18 years ago, this was a dump site, filled with solid waste, a terrible stench and criminal activity. In 2008, the Honorable John Michuki, the then Minister for Environment, made a bold promise to restore this space for the public. That promise brought together 17 ministries, led to the removal of over 20,000 tons of waste, and transformed this space into a public conservation park covering over 10 hectares. This is a story of one of Nairobi's most powerful symbols of environmental conservation. Welcome to the John Michuki Memorial Conservation Park.
If you want to rattle a snake, you must be prepared to be bitten by it.
Those famous words, uttered after the alleged 2006 raid on the Standard Media Group, belong to the late Honorable John Michuki.
Na mambo ambayo ilikuwa huko ni mambo ya state security.
John Njoroge Michuki was born on December 1st, 1932 and passed away on February 21st, 2012 at the age of 80. He was one of Kenya's most prominent and long-serving civil servants and politicians, serving the nation in multiple capacities such as the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Member of Parliament and Cabinet Minister. Michuki was widely known as a tough, no-nonsense, highly efficient administrator. Many regarded him as one of the best performing ministers during President Mwai Kibaki's administration. One of his most notable legacy was the introduction of the Michuki rules. These rules were aimed at restoring order in the chaotic matatu industry. Implemented in February 2004, these regulations required public service vehicles to install speed governors, safety belts, operate on designated routes, adhere to passenger limits, and ensure drivers and conductors were disciplined and had clean security records.
So these seat belts ni kitu cha maana. It has been known all over the world that this thing saves life.
Yet Michuki's legacy is not without controversy. His time as the Minister for Internal Security was marked by the infamous shoot-to-kill directive against the outlawed Mungiki sect, a decision that remains one of the most debated moments of his career.
Mungiki ndio alikuwa unaleta matata katika Nairobi. Hii wizi mwingi na mambo mengine ni wao walikuwa nayo.
However, today we are focusing on his contribution as the Minister for Environment. Appointed on April 13, 2008, Michuki spearheaded several key environmental initiatives, including the Nairobi River Rehabilitation and Restoration Program, the reclamation of the Kenya's 5 major water towers, and the enactment of a new mining act to curb environmental degradation.
What I have done is that I have set up a committee to recommend to me what policies we develop. Na tukipanda miti kutakuwa na mvua, kutakuwa na mito.
From these efforts emerged one of his most visible and enduring legacies, the transformation and cleanup of what is now the John Michuki Memorial Park.
To have this park dedicated to his memory and renamed Michuki Memorial Conservation Park.
Formerly known as Mazingira Park, the John Michuki Memorial Park lies along the Nairobi River stretching from Globe Roundabout to Museum Bridge. Managed by the Kenya Forest Service, The park stands today as a rare green corridor within Nairobi's dense urban landscape. Its journey, however, has not been smooth. After management was transferred to the county government in 2013, sections of the park suffered from neglect, illegal dumping, and safety concerns. For a time, the park seemed at risk of slipping back into abandonment. In 2020, a major restoration effort was launched.
The area is now fenced, completely fenced. The river has been cleaned up. The solid waste has been collected. Beautification has been done. We are putting up public benches.
Kuwe na parking nzuri, kuwe na mashao mzuri, kuwe na stima.
Today, the park features a 2.4-kilometer walking path, a secure perimeter fence, thousands of indigenous trees, and a community forest association dedicated to its preservation. This partnership between the government and the community became key to the park's survival. Visitors begin their journey by registering at the entrance gate, after which they are free to explore the park at their own pace. This small act of registration reinforces accountability, safety, and shared ownership. The path leads across a bridge spanning the Nairobi River, opening into winding trails. These routes branch into different sections of the park, offering visitors a choice, each path revealing a different perspective of this reclaimed space. Despite ongoing conservation efforts, the Nairobi River itself remains heavily polluted, often carrying a strong odor. A stark reminder of the environmental challenges that persist beyond the park's boundaries. Towards the end of the trail, a small playground is revealed nestled within the greenery. We came across some swings and seesaws, and that's what we're doing for now, before we continue on this journey. The park's location also allows visitors to experience more than just nature. This is why I love going to places, because apparently you can access the museum via the memorial park. So the stairs. You see those stairs over there? You can use them to access the museum. You don't have to use Kipande Road. You can just come to the memorial park and then go towards the museum. There is its gate. I didn't know that. Now you know. And here's a tip. You can make a full day out of this, beginning with a walk through the park, continuing to the Nairobi National Museum and the Snake Park, and returning once again to these river trails. But pause. Like always, I have dedicated separate videos on the National Museum and the Snake Park. So make sure you watch those first, then come back and let's continue. Now that we are back from the museum and the snake park, we continue exploring the park. Continuing past the playground, we came across a sculpture garden. Every time you think you're done, you come across something new. So at the moment, we are in an area where there's all these sculptures. I'm not an artistic person, so I don't really know what they mean, but I feel like they're trying to tell a story. Anyway, for my artist friends, maybe you can tell me what they mean. Let me show you a bit. We all say nature is the gift that keeps on giving. So let me give you my understanding of what is happening over here. So we have the man, and we have the god, we have the flower, the birds, the butterflies. I hope you can see all that. And so nature, being the gift that keeps on giving, gives to the man. And to say a simple thank you to nature, he waters the plants. The plants give birth to the rose flowers, and the flowers feed the birds and the butterflies. That's my understanding. What's yours? Further along, we came across a tree and fruit nursery before exiting the park. Though the Nairobi River still bears the scars of pollution, the John Mishuki Memorial Park represents something greater. It's a balance of nature, art, and recreation. John Mishuki was many things: controversial, feared, and even respected. But here along the banks of the Nairobi River, his environmental legacy speaks quietly. So the next time you're in Nairobi CBD, take some time to explore the John Mishuki Memorial Park and reflect on how one man's determination turned a dump site into a thriving public space. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, memories last forever, so go out there and make them. I'm Maureen Mwangi, and you've been watching Kyle's channel. See you on the next episode.